And today, there's a new student. After 2 years spent hustling and getting into trouble,
Hello and welcome to tonight's webinar. I'm so excited and so happy to be here again for tonight's webinar. Tonight we're talking about how you can use LinkedIn to grow your business. Now, if you don't know, LinkedIn is a great site. In my sense, it's my favorite social media site. Why? Because it's about business. It's about making money. So tonight we're going to talk about ways how you can use LinkedIn to improve your business and make more sales. So, once again, I'm your host, Sterling McKinley. This webinar is presented by the U.S. Black Chambers and also the good folks at Grow with Google. So, once again, thank you for being here. And like I say in every webinar, this webinar is all about you. So, feel free to ask any question you have about LinkedIn, about social media, anything. I'll do my best to pause, slow down, and make sure I answer your question. So let's get started. So you know me, as always, I have some interaction to make sure that you're all there. So if you're ready to learn how to use LinkedIn, type in money. Once again, if you're ready to learn how to use LinkedIn, type in money and we'll get started. And I choose the word money because when I think about LinkedIn, I think about money. Um, other networks are about having fun and getting fans and followers, but LinkedIn can lead to more sales. It can lead to more customers. So once again, if you're ready to learn more about LinkedIn, type in money and we'll get started. Carl, good to see you. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us tonight. Carl said money. All right, got some more here. Catch the love, guess the vision love. Money. One more. We have Tony coming in here. Says money. All right, great. Let's go. So thank you for giving me that feedback. So tonight's agenda is pretty simple. Well, first we're going to talk about LinkedIn 101. Now, hopefully you're already on LinkedIn. You already have a page and a profile, but we're going to talk about why you need to be on LinkedIn if you're not. And, I find too that a lot of people are on LinkedIn, but are not using it the way they need to. So, not only are we talking about why LinkedIn is so powerful tonight, but we're going to talk about if you're not on it, you need to get on it and you need to be active. Also, we're going to have tips and tricks. So, once again, LinkedIn is a platform that has a lot of different features. And tonight we're going to walk through all those features and how you can use those features to get more customers and get more interaction when you're on LinkedIn. So I have a saying here, and it says that LinkedIn is like a Rolodex on steroids. So I'll show my age here, but I remember as a kid, and I remember going to my dad's office, and he always had a Rolodex. And for those of you that don't know, a Rolodex is like a collection of business cards, and they're all in order. And you flip through the cards, and you see the people. But that's what LinkedIn is now. And Rolodex is very, very old. It was hard to find names. When somebody changed companies or phone numbers, it was hard to keep up with them. But that's where LinkedIn has come in. So LinkedIn is that new way that you can connect with your customers, a new way that you can connect with people in the business field. And it's all about keeping up with people. And that's why I love LinkedIn, because if you leave a job, if you meet somebody at a network event, you exchange business cards, you follow them on LinkedIn, you can contact him again very easily. And that's really the power of LinkedIn, is about having those connections. And once again, it's about having those business connections. Once again, people on LinkedIn aren't there to play games, to joke, they share pictures of their cat, their lunch. No, they're about networking, about sharing, and from that, driving more business. So once again, LinkedIn, think about it. It's like Rolodex. It's like a business card. It's like a networking event on steroids. It's all about those connections, about who you know. And that's the fun thing about LinkedIn, is you never know who somebody knows. So you make a friend, a connection on LinkedIn, and one day you have a sale or need a lead that comes up, and you can see that somebody know that connection. You can ask them to introduce them. So it's all about just that, and there's something called the 6 point separation. And it's kind of what LinkedIn is built on. It's the thought that in the world that we are six connections away from anybody. So to give you an example, I know people that know LeBron James, that know the president. So I'm 3 or 4 connections away from somebody like that. So you don't know how you connect to people. And what LinkedIn does, it pulls back the curtains and it shows that network of connections. And then you can take advantage of those connections. And once again, the more you can talk and have connections, the more opportunities will overlay and the more money you'll make for your business. So that is why I love LinkedIn. Let's get back here. So maybe asking why LinkedIn is so great for small business. And I just give you my sermon about why I love LinkedIn, but let me give you some hard stats. So LinkedIn has 740 million active users. 740 million. Now, that's not as much as, Facebook or some other sites, but the thing about it, those are people that are here once again for business. It's not about sharing cat photos. It's not about sharing pictures of your lunch or you working out. It's about business. So once again, it may be smaller than other networks, but people are there primarily for one reason. And that's what you don't have on networks, Twitter or Facebook, Instagram. You have all kind of people there, but primarily on LinkedIn, people are there to talk about business. And the next stat I want to talk about is LinkedIn is great for making sales. It really is. So I'll read this to you here. It says LinkedIn generates the highest visitor to lead conversion rate at 2.7%. And that's almost 3 times higher than both Facebook and Twitter. I'll say it again. When it comes to making connections, making sales or conversions, LinkedIn is the number one site. It's higher than Twitter, it's higher than Facebook. So once again, the chances if you make connection on Instagram, on LinkedIn, that turns to a sale or partnership is greater. And that's why as a small business owner, you have to be there because once again, people are there. They're mingling, they're talking about business. And through that connection, that's how you uncover opportunities. We have a question here from LinkedIn. Let's see. It says the key to developing those connections into strategic relationships is so they will really feel compelled to introduce you to others who can change your personal and professional life and overall trajectory and for success. Yeah, I agree. That's it. It's all about, having those connections and, people can refer you to somebody. And once again, I always say this, LinkedIn it's the first thing people check in business. So if I meet somebody at a network event, they give me their business card, great. The first thing I do is I go to my phone and I type in their name, and normally the first listing you see is LinkedIn, and I'm judging that person by their LinkedIn profile. So if they have a bad headshot, if they have misspelling, if they don't have the profile filled out, if it's a poor presence, I say, hey, that person is probably not serious about business. So LinkedIn is that tool that people use to really judge your business. And once again, it's all about in digital marketing, creating a good first impression. So you want to make sure that your LinkedIn page is giving off good connections. So when those connections, those contacts are referred to you, and that person comes and see your LinkedIn page, say, oh, this person is professional. This person does have knowledge about the field of industry. I want to call them for service. So once again, yes, I agree. It's all about making those connections into partnerships. But once again, before people call you or email you, they're going to vet you and they're going to judge you off the quality of your LinkedIn page. So it's so important if you're using that LinkedIn page to make sure that it's updated and professional because that's how you're going to get those more customers and more connections from that. So great question, great comment. Thank you for that. So question for the class tonight. Class, like this school. But in the comment box, tell me, do you have a LinkedIn page? Yes or no? And when I say yes or no, if you have a LinkedIn page and you don't update it at all, type in no. But if you're active on LinkedIn, type in yes. If not, type in no. So take a few seconds and tell me if you're active on LinkedIn, yes or no. And while you're typing, I'll play some hold music for you. The question is, are you active on LinkedIn? Okay, we have a few comments here. They Drive says yes, but personal, not business. That's okay. That's really okay because one thing too is um, even if you're on there at personal, you're still representing a business, a brand. And that's the thing about it. People really don't want to connect with a brand per se, more of a person. So having a personal page on LinkedIn is fine. That's the way to go. Now, we'll talk about this later, but if you want to, it also is important to create a separate company page. But most of your views, most of your interaction is going to come from your personal page. 'Cause once again, social media, people connect with people, not brands. So having a personal page is great. You're doing fine. Now if you have time, definitely create a separate business page, but having a personal page is definitely a great start. Let's see, Tony says no. Okay, Tony, well, you should get one. So this slide right here is about that, is about creating a LinkedIn page, and it's pretty simple. So what I'll do, Tony, for you is I'll type in the chat box really quick what the link to LinkedIn, I'm sorry, you can create a page. Hold on one second. And it's pretty easy. It's similar to setting up profiles on other accounts as well. But you definitely want to set one up because you're missing out on so much opportunity by not having a page on LinkedIn. So that's something that you definitely want to make sure that you have for your business and your personal brand. Another comment here that says yes. Um, Carl checking in again. Carl says yes. I should make updates to my profile. Yeah, I agree. That's very important. And you kind of fall into that category I was talking about. That person that's on LinkedIn that set up a profile years ago and comes on there every once in a while. You like a post, you leave a comment here, but not much. But really the key is to not only use LinkedIn to comment on people's posts and so on, but also make sure you're sharing your page. So not only to make sure that your profile is updated, but also to share content. So we'll talk about it later. You want to share posts, pictures, you want to share stories about your career because it's about sharing and also about engaging with content. But yeah, Carl, it's tough. A lot of people fall into that box. They need to make updates. I would say you try to log into your LinkedIn account at least 3 times a week and just to see what's going on, respond to comments, and make sure that you're posting any updates you have about your career because that's the way that you will get more connections by doing that. So thank you for those questions and comments. Okay, so this is the picture of me speaking. And this was way back before the pandemic and we all got shut down. I was traveling the country and I was speaking to large auditoriums and groups full of people about digital marketing, about social media. And this is the image that I shared on LinkedIn after I spoke. And I had a professional photographer come out to my event and shoot this picture. And what this picture does to me, it establishes my credibility. And that's what LinkedIn is about. LinkedIn is about showing that you're a professional, showing what you have to offer. So when you have a picture like this that's in front of you, talking with people, interacting with people, at least people see what you do in their everyday life. And it gives you that credibility. So that's what I mean by sharing your updates. So every time I speak at an event, every time I'm on a podcast, every time I get interviewed, every time I do a webinar, I make sure I share that content on LinkedIn. Why? I'm not bragging. What I'm doing is I'm showing you again and again that I'm professional, that I'm a thought leader, that I'm serious about what I do. So what happens is when you share this content, yes, people see on their feeds and they'll like it, they're engaged with the post, they'll leave a comment. But also, too, what happens is when somebody comes to your LinkedIn page later, they'll see a list of all these images, all these posts that you made, and they'll say, wow, this person is really serious about what they do. So that's what I've done. And, I'll tell you the last few years, my career has really taken off. And I think that's really because I've done a very good job of showing myself as the expert, investing in high quality pictures and videos, headshots, all that stuff. But LinkedIn has been a key for me and really improved my career. Why? Because you have to show people what you are doing, and I've used LinkedIn to kind of show people, in a way, hey, this is what I'm doing, and hey, I would love to work with you. So that's why you definitely have to use LinkedIn. I have a comment here, and she says it's been very helpful for me. Yeah, I agree. LinkedIn is very helpful. I mean, once again, it's people are there for business. So for a business owner, it's a no-brainer. You have to be there because the big thing we'll talk about later too is research. By using LinkedIn, you can find any head of a company, head of marketing, anything. So if you're trying to make a new partnership, new connection with somebody, you can use LinkedIn as a research tool. You can type in the name of that person, and then you can go and you can find them. So let me do that real quick. Let me show you how you can use LinkedIn not only to post but also search. So let me take you quick to my page. Okay, so this is my page on LinkedIn. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bigger. But once again, you see, the posts and the comments, but right here in the search box, you can type in anything. So you can type in digital marketing manager. Let's say you're trying to find that. And what LinkedIn does is it goes through the profiles and it finds people that has LinkedIn that has digital marketing manager in their profile. And it's a great way to kind of search not only for jobs but also for people as well. So if you're trying to do some prospecting or find a lead in a company, LinkedIn is great because look at this. This is amazing. You can go through the one click and you can see people's pictures and their bios and where they work. And if you want, you can click connect and you can connect with them. So once again, LinkedIn is not only just for posting, it's also great for research. You can find anybody. So let's try this profile here. You can see their name, their picture. It's great. So once again, LinkedIn is not only great for commenting and sharing, but it's great for doing work. And we'll talk about this later, but I'll zoom in and show you a little better. So this is why you want to make sure you have good keywords on LinkedIn. So you see your title here, digital marketing manager. So when somebody searches that, it pulls that up. So that's why it's so important to have those keywords throughout your bio because that's how people are going to find you. And I'll say this: I've gotten so many job offers, so many speaking opportunities from LinkedIn. And it wasn't me going out to somebody and saying, hey, hire me. They simply did a search on LinkedIn. My profile came up and it said the speaker or digital marketer, and they hired me from that. I made so many leads from LinkedIn. So to be honest with you, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all those sites. And I'm on those sites for visibility. But the one site that makes me money is LinkedIn. So I invested so much time in LinkedIn. Why? Because LinkedIn works. So once again, LinkedIn is that place where you can really establish that credibility. And it's that one place online where it's all about business. So as a small business owner, I'll say it again, you have to be there and you have to be active. I would say if you're not active in any network online, forget Facebook, forget Instagram, all those sites, but be active on LinkedIn. Why? Because people are there about business. LinkedIn is a great site you can use to get more leads and more sales for your business. All right, let me stop preaching. Get back to the slides here. The next thing that LinkedIn is great for is great for educating and nurturing potential clients. And I just said this earlier. LinkedIn is twofold. It's about connections. It's about people finding you, and about you finding people. So your current, future connections are on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is so cool because you can use LinkedIn to kind of stay top of mind in your client's mind without sending them a pushy email. So sharing updates, sharing with them about the new promotion, the new job, the new product. That's the way you can kind of teach them over time. And something that I do on my site is I'm constantly sharing information about social media. Just like now, I'm talking about digital marketing, social media, email, all those things. So over time, I'm teaching people who I am. So there's somebody now on LinkedIn that's seeing my content. And guess what? They're not even commenting. They're not leaving a comment. They're not liking. But months or years later, they'll contact me and say, "Hey, Sterling, for years, I've been watching your content on LinkedIn. I like what you're doing. Now I had the opportunity comes up. Can we talk?" And that's the beauty of LinkedIn. So you're constantly the sharing, you're constantly educating about people who you are. And then eventually, when they're ready, they're gonna one day email you. They're gonna call you, say, "Hey, I want to work with you." So it's about sharing your story, it's about educating your potential customers over time. I have a question here, and it says from Carl again. Say, if you have an attractive content that will allow you to connect with the audience of LinkedIn users, will you eventually use your services? Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's all about that. It's about showing people what you have. So that's very important. But once again, think about LinkedIn as a way of think about cold calling without cold calling. You're just putting out there who you are. And once again, people are scrolling, people are seeing your content over time. So over time, they're ingesting your content, and then eventually one day they're gonna call you a service. So that's really what it is. Also, it's big on sharing career updates. And I talked about this earlier and I'll say it again. So there's a young lady who just got an internship at a TV station, and people do this a lot. They post that they got a new job, a new promotion, and so on. So, like I said earlier, it's so hard to stay on top of what people are doing in their career. One day somebody's here doing this, and next day they move. But LinkedIn allows you to keep track of where people are. And that's so amazing. So one way you can do that is by sharing updates. So every time you get a new promotion, start a new job, a new company, you win an award, you volunteer somewhere, post that on LinkedIn. Why? Because somebody is seeing that and you're telling them again who you are. And that's so important. Just share everything you can think about your business. Any awards, recommendations, anything you can share is always great to share on LinkedIn. And one thing is, I'll say with LinkedIn too, on LinkedIn, the simplest things get the most traction. So I can record a video now, me speaking, and it can be great. I can put up LinkedIn and get maybe a few hundred comments or a few hundred likes. But a image of me just talking or an image like this, it can literally get tens of thousands of likes and shares. People just love looking at pictures on LinkedIn. So anytime you can share a picture of you doing something on LinkedIn, do that because pictures perform really well on LinkedIn. So once again, you constantly be sharing career updates, career highlights, because people love that stuff. They can identify with that, and it's going to pull them in and make your brand seem even more real. I have a question here. It says, one needs to post regularly in a manner that connects with other users so they can develop a LinkedIn following. Yeah, I agree. That's very important. I said that earlier. You don't want to be that person that has a LinkedIn account but doesn't post, that logs in every 6 months. No, I'll say the minimum. You should log in every 3 days. No, sorry, 3 times a week to LinkedIn to make a post. It can be a text post, a picture, a video. Always make sure to comment on other people's posts as well. So you want to post on people's content that you follow. So I post on people's content that talk about digital marketing and things like that. That talk about diversity and equality. Why? Because those are the fields that I want to get more involved in. But yeah, it's all about showing up regularly. It's about being consistent. If you want to build a following on LinkedIn or any network, you have to be consistent. So that means logging in, if not daily, a few times per week and going to people's pages, commenting on their profiles, liking their pictures, liking their videos, and then posting your own content. You have to be active on LinkedIn because the way LinkedIn is set up, the way the algorithm is set up on LinkedIn, if you're not active, they're not going to show you to more people. So LinkedIn is set up to where if you post enough, it's going to show you to more people. So once again, posting once a week once a month is not going to work for you. You have to post a few times a week. If you can, I post every day because once again, LinkedIn is where I make a lot of my connections, a lot of my money. So the more you post on LinkedIn, the better. The most, I would say, post once a day, but you definitely want to be active on LinkedIn. And also, I would say you want to make sure that you're posting every day around the same time. So every day, I post on LinkedIn around 10 a.m. And that way, people can expect to see my content then. So find a schedule, whether that's every day, every other day, whether that's at 10 a.m or in the evening. The best time to post or in the morning and evening when people are coming to work and people are leaving work and relaxing at home. Those are the best time to post. But I really like that 10 a.m. post time. But yes, posting regularly is huge if you want to get more views and more traction on LinkedIn. Another comment here, it says, I have the ability to promote, to give away travel tickets, and was thinking about offering to 100 or more of my first responders a travel certificate. Yeah, that's a good idea. Um, I would definitely try that. I would say to be careful though, because in LinkedIn, you don't want to be too salesy. So if you're too salesy, it'll kind of turn people away. But yeah, you can make a post that says whatever. And the first, I think 100 is too much. Split that 100 up over maybe like 10 posts. The first 10 comments get a travel voucher or whatever it is. I would do it that way, but once again, be careful when you do it that it's not too salesy. Yes, it's promotion, but something like best comment wins or caption this photo or this picture and win a travel voucher. But once again, it's great that you're giving something away on LinkedIn, and fine, do that. People love getting free things on LinkedIn, but make sure that when you share it, you're not coming off being like too salesy because that will turn people off. And to sum up everything I just said, I have a quote here. Um, and it really just sums up what I said. And it says that active participation on LinkedIn is the best way to say, look at me without saying, look at me. So, once again, being active on LinkedIn is the best way to say, look at me without saying, look at me. And that's what I mean. That's what I said to Carl about not being too salesy and about staying in your customer's mind. So, you're not sending them an email every day. You're not showing them a commercial. You're not living a flyer on their car, but you're just putting content out there, and they're seeing that. Once again, people are seeing that content. They might not always reply to it or leave a comment, but they're seeing that. So you're staying on top of their mind. So when they're ready to find that lawyer, that doctor, that web designer, whatever it is you do, they'll think about you. Why? Because subconsciously in their mind, they've been seeing your content over and over again. And like I said before, hopefully you've been educating them about what you do. So their mind is made up. Hey, I've been watching this guy Sterling for months now. He knows what he's talking about. He's funny. I like his personality. Let me call him for service. That's how it works. So once again, it's not about saying buy, sell. But LinkedIn, you're just sharing your expertise. You're sharing your information. And like Carl said, when you share that information, expertise with the right crowd, that's when they're drawn to you. So it's that natural kind of attraction because you're talking about something that people want to hear about. We have a comment here from Cherry. It says, what are your thoughts on LinkedIn groups? They don't seem to be there as engaging as Facebook groups. Yeah, I agree. Um, LinkedIn groups do work, but LinkedIn groups to me are not what they used to be. Um, I would say it's good to join niche ones that make sense for whatever you do. But once again, I don't know. It depends on the group. So I think the best groups on LinkedIn are the groups that you have to apply to, that kind of vet their users before they let you join the group. Those are the best. But yeah, LinkedIn groups, they kind of vary. It depends. But I would still do a search and I would join the top groups in your field. So myself, I'm in all the top digital marketing groups, the groups that talk about diversity and inclusion, all those groups, because you still want to have a presence there because you still can make a connection through that. But yeah, I would agree. I've seen more connections being made through Facebook groups versus LinkedIn groups. But still, you want to make sure that you go through and just do a search on LinkedIn and find the top groups and make sure that you're a part of those groups. I can show you a live example of that real quick. Let's go back to LinkedIn. Let's go to my profile. Show you this real quick. So I believe groups is towards the bottom of the page. Yeah, so these are interests in groups, and I'm part of these groups. So um, DC Sherm, Mail Connections, Business Takeout, things like that. So do a search, and you can always search for groups on LinkedIn. And I like to just have join groups that have a high member count. So this one here has 9,000, has 9,000. This one has 130,000. So go through and whatever industry you're in, try to join those top groups in your industry because once again, you may not get a ton attraction from there, but you still want to be part of those groups because you never know what can come from it. So I would definitely make sure you join those groups as well. And also to be sure to post to the groups as well. You can post to your personal account, but you can also post to that group page as well. So from time to time, post to that group page. And once again, um, a lot of people they abuse group pages. Don't be too salesy, but yeah, if you have something that the group can benefit from, share that with the group because once again, it's about sharing and about sharing things that are going to help people gain more traction. I have a question from Carl, and Carl says, "What is a skillful way to hashtag your posts for the best effect? Should I use hashtag groups?" Yeah, that's a great question. So, hashtags are, of course, very popular on LinkedIn, and once again, you have to be careful. The same way you have to be careful with Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, any network. You don't want to do what I call keyword hashtag stuffing. That's where you put in so many random hashtags that have nothing to do with your post. Once again, if you're making use of hashtags, use hashtags to have to do with your field. So myself, so let's you, Carl. You do travel, so it could be hashtag travel, hashtag weekend warrior, hashtag um, working from home, things like that. Things that have to do with your niche and also the content in your post. Also on LinkedIn, you want to have too many links, too many hashtags. I would say the max you want to have 3 to 4 hashtags. Once again, you don't want to just spam people and put in too many hashtags. So I would say find really 3 to 4 hashtags that work for your brand and your post and put those in. And also, what I would do is I would use the same hashtags every single time. That way, when somebody clicks hashtag travel, they'll see all your posts under that. So it's all about that branding and visibility. So if you find good hashtags, use those hashtags over and over again. So I use hashtag digital marketing, hashtag inclusion, hashtag small business. Those are my hashtags. And also be sure to research your hashtags. So within LinkedIn, within the search bar, you can type in hashtag travel and you can see how many followers that hashtag has. So you want to choose hashtags to have a good following count. You know, if you have a hashtag that has 1 follower, it's no good. So you definitely want to be strategic about having your hashtags. And once again, make sure you use 3 or 4 hashtags that are really on point and target with what you're sharing. So I've been doing a lot of talking. If you have found anything I said helpful or insightful, do me a favor. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, click the like button or just type in yes in the comment box if you find what I'm saying helpful or insightful. Just type yes in the comment box or hit the share button, a like button, I'm sorry, the like button on Facebook LinkedIn or YouTube? Yes. Okay, great. Can I get one more from move on? One more yes. Okay, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. Great info. I appreciate it. Once again, we have about 25 minutes left. I have a few more slides to go, but once again, if you have any questions or comments about LinkedIn or social media at any time through the talk, feel free to type those questions or those comments in the chat box, and I'll be sure to respond to those. So thank you. Okay, so moving on to the next section, which is tips and tricks. So, like I said before, LinkedIn has so many features. It has so many different ways to use it. I'm going to go over some of the tips and tricks that I use to get more views on my page, more profiles, and make more connections. All right, this is the first one that's kind of a no brainer, but you want to make sure that you fully complete your profile. You'll be surprised how many people get on LinkedIn and they fill in their first job title and that's it. No, I know that it's time consuming, but take the time to go through your page and fill out your page completely. I'm talking about your bio, I'm talking about your work history, where you went to school, your skill set, all those things. Once again, the more information you fill out, the more LinkedIn is going to show you the more people, the more connections you can make. So yes, take that time to fill out your profile completely. So a few things here. I would say one is add a photo. Add a photo right here and get a nice photo. Don't take a photo on your iPhone, but get a nice headshot and put that on LinkedIn. Also, be sure to list any jobs that you've held currently or in the past and list your roles at those jobs. Also, list your skills in your profile. Also, make sure to write a quick summary about who you are and what you do. And also fill out your education in your school. So we will use my profile as an example. I'm just going to run you through some of the features here. So this is my page, and my page wasn't always like this. So I'm teaching you tonight, but I've come a long way. There's a time when my page was pretty bare. I first got my page when I was in college. My actually last year in college when I was trying to find a job, and I'll say that use LinkedIn before you need LinkedIn. So don't wait to get on LinkedIn when it's too late when you're trying to apply for the job. Get on LinkedIn now. Start building that profile up now. So when you need the job, when you need to find a new job, when you need to find a new customer, you've already been on LinkedIn. You've already been grooming potential employers and potential new contracts. So don't wait to get on LinkedIn to get on LinkedIn. Get on LinkedIn now. It's that old saying, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So that's really key on LinkedIn. So let's go back to my profile. So once again, you see a nice headshot. And this is the same headshot you see across social media from me. You see this on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere. So invest in the professional headshot because you don't want a headshot that looks bad because once again, it's about creating that personal brand and that image. If people see that you have a crappy headshot that's done on a cell phone, it looks bad, they're going to think less of you. So having a professional headshot goes a lot farther. Also, right here, this is my book, but this banner you can share a picture. I would suggest getting a banner, something that says what you do, your career. So if you're teachers, it just say teacher, author, and speaker. Um, Also, down here, be sure to list your title. So I do a lot of things, maybe too many things, but once again, anytime somebody searches for keynote speaker or digital equity advocate or instructor or author, digital marketing strategist, my profile might come up. So once again, make sure you have your titles in here. Because once again, when people search, this is how they're going to find your profile. And I'll say this too: LinkedIn is not all about connections. When I started out, I had very few connections. I think now I have close to 6,000 connections. Um, and it's not about having the most, it's about having the most quality connections. So it's easy to make so many connections with people you don't know, but try to only make connections with people that you know or people that you want to do business with. Having a connection with somebody that you never talk to, that you never comment in the post, makes no sense. So make sure you have connections that really mean something for your industry, that you really know in some way, because if not, it doesn't make any sense. And they're not going to engage with your content if there's no connection with you. The next thing is the about us section. So this is the section where you can make a quick summary about what you do. So once again, this section is where you give a summary of what you do. And this section too, you want to make sure you share keywords, because once again, when somebody does a search on LinkedIn, this is how they're going to find your page, because you're listing those keywords. So quickly, I list the companies I work with, whether it's Google or the SBA, U.S. Chambers, Yellow Book, um, Sherm, all the companies I work with right here. And right here, I have a quick summary of what I do. So I'm a digital marketing trainer and speaker. I design and I develop training for companies, universities, and nonprofits. That's it. In one liner, that's what I do. So when somebody comes to my page, they see that what I do, what I offer, and say, "Oh, he may be a good person for us." So make sure you take this time to fill out your about us section. It doesn't have to be this long. It can be a paragraph, but once again, the more information you put in, the better. If you can, try to use bullet points and different ways to break up the content. You don't want to have one, full page of content. Find ways to break up the content as well. And going down to your experience, what I just talked about, make sure you fill out all your information. So every contract I have, every place I worked, I'm sure to fill it out. So you can put in your contact information, the company, how long you've been there, link to that company's LinkedIn page, quick summary about what you do at that job position is really important. And if you can, I always like uploading some type of picture or video that gives people a better idea about what I do. So this is the webinar that you're on now. So that's on my LinkedIn page. Another of my contracts as I teach at the Department of Defense, social media and digital engagement. Once again, I list that job section. I have my title. I give you overview of what I do. And once again, try to upload a picture or a video, something that lets somebody see you in action. Uh, this is me at graduation. My head's cut off, but it was a class for teachers to be better teachers. So list that. I won't go every one, but this is my other project. I have all about diversity and inclusion. So be sure to list all that. Once again, this is me being a speaker. You see information about me again and again. So once again, adding more pictures and videos to your posts makes it more better and also engaging. Now, I'm doing too much. I'm also a fellow as well. So I'm a busy guy, but everything I do is around digital marketing and also around digital equity. So I'm really big on helping Black owned companies bridge the digital divide. So that's what I do. And, you know, I'll zoom back in here. And that's what I mean by you want to share your expertise, because you're going to come to this page. And if you go through all of my posts and all of my jobs, you can see my passion for not only digital marketing, but also for digital equity. And that's what LinkedIn really does. It lets people quickly see that. It's kind of like a resume in a sense. It's your resume. So whether it's employers, whether that's colleagues coming to see this, people can quickly see what you do, because, I know everybody has an elevator pitch, a business card, but there's too much to say in the elevator pitch. Too much to say in the business card, but go to my LinkedIn profile. It is the best, the quick summary about everything that I do in regards to my business. So just feel free once again to fill out your profile completely. All of my things that I've done are here, all of my jobs. Also, I have my education. So you the college, be sure to have your education in there, all your degrees. Um, Also, I list all of my certificates from Microsoft, LinkedIn, HubSpot. All those are right here. So once again, if you have any degrees or any awards, any trainings in your field, be sure to share those on LinkedIn. Because once again, sharing those awards and those certifications, that builds credibility for you. So be sure to share all your awards, all your certifications. Next thing you want to share is any volunteer experience. Once again, people want to know that you're a human, that you care. So if you volunteer anywhere, have that volunteering in your profile as well, because once again, you never know who knows who, but the more you fill out your profile, the more chances somebody comes to your profile and sees what you have. The next section is recommendations. And this is big. So what you can do too is you can ask anybody for recommendation. If you click this pencil icon here, it opens up and you can ask anybody for a recommendation. Also, leave recommendations for other people. So go to people's page that you worked with and leave a recommendation. And as kind of a goodwill thing, people will naturally leave recommendations about you. So once again, recommendations are building credibility. If people can see that other people are talking about you, are leaving comments about you, that's even better. Once again, building that credibility out for your business and your brand. And the last section is to list your accomplishments, whether that's articles published or projects or so on. Those are the times to share those. So once again, that's my profile. Yes, there's a lot to fill out, but trust me, it is so worth it because people are going to see your page. So I'll show you my numbers for my page. So this week, my page, this was a down week. My page is viewed 192 times. Um, 709 of my posts were viewed. 709 people saw my post this week. That's major. And also, I appeared in 170 searches, which is huge. So let's see that. So um, somebody in Anheuser-Busch wants to work with me. I don't drink, but hey, that's cool. Anheuser-Busch, Edward Jones. You can see the companies that came to your page, which is very cool. And also, you can see the title of the people that came to your page. So, founders came to my page, salespeople, business owners, executives as well. And this part is really cool. It gives you the list of keywords that people typed in to find your page. So here you says author, instructor, speaker, specialist. So once again, LinkedIn is a great way to get more eyeballs on your business and on your personal page. So we have a comment here. Just read it real quick. It says Canva is great to use to make a banner for your profile. The banner is a prime real estate to get some key messaging across to your audience. Yeah, I agree, Tony. Canva is a great site. It's free. I'll share the link in the comment box. But yeah, Canva is a great way to make an easy banner for your website. And they have some banners that are already kind of pre-made. So all you have to do is maybe add your picture, add your name, and customize some of the text. But yeah, Canva is a great site to use. Let me share that in the comment box real quick. So yeah, Canva is awesome. I'll pull up Canva real quick. This is Canva right here. If you don't know, but Canva is great. You can use it to make so many things in Canva. You can see some of my designs. Matter of fact, I used Canva to make the background for this webinar. It was free. I created it on Canva. I downloaded it, and this is what you see now when you come onto the webinar. So yeah, Canva is a great tool you can use to create things for your business that look good. So thanks for sharing that. Let's see. We have another comment coming in. It says, "What is the perfect length of time for a video? How often should we upload it?" Yeah, video. I would say a minute to 90 seconds is a good time because people don't want to watch forever. Um, and I would say uploading. It really depends. I would say at the minimum, post 3 times a week. But yeah, I would say a minute long and try to post 3 times per week. So I've been talking a lot. I have about 10 more minutes. Let me get back to the slides here and finish up. Um, so the next thing is accepting new connections. So you'll find on LinkedIn that people want to be your friend. And like I said before, only accept connection requests from people that have something to do with your field or your industry. You don't want to have a ton of connections that are no good, that don't do any connection with you. So once again, be very aware about who you let into your network, because once again, if the person has no connection to you, I ignore some of those comments. And also too, you get a lot of people that are doing spamming on LinkedIn. You'll get so many requests to be your network. People are trying to sell you something. So once again, if you get a request that sounds spammy, that sounds like someone trying to sell you something, I don't accept the request because I don't want to be spammed and sold all the time on LinkedIn. So once again, be very aware of who you allow into your network, because once again, that's the quality of your network. You want to have all spammers in your network. You want to have people that really are active in your field, in your network. The next thing to do is LinkedIn Live. So LinkedIn Live is a great tool. It's on the newer side, definitely, I would say. But LinkedIn Live is the chance, kind of like this, to talk live with your audience on LinkedIn. But you do have to apply for it. So I'm going to drop a link in the chat box now to where you can sign up to have permission to be on LinkedIn Live. And once again, LinkedIn Live is something that's very new, but I said this before. Anytime a platform like LinkedIn or Instagram comes out with a new feature, you definitely want to use it because it's getting more traction and more views. So being on LinkedIn Live is great because you're having that one-on-one connection. You're talking with your audience. They can see you, they can hear you, and chances are, if they can see you and hear you and they like you, then it's a more chance that they could reach out and they could call you for service. And the great thing too is when you create a live video, you create a post as well. So that live video is recorded, and anytime somebody comes to your page, they can view that post. So you definitely want to try to do live video on LinkedIn because it's another way to get more engagement. Also, I talked about this earlier, but LinkedIn is a great way to find prospects. So once again, by doing LinkedIn search, you can find people in your field, your industry you're trying to pitch or work with. So once again, always feel free to go in the LinkedIn search box, like I showed you earlier, type in somebody you want to work with, and that is a way that they can connect with you and find you. Um, see, Carl here does shared his LinkedIn. Thanks for that. So yeah, anybody feel free to drop your name here, and yeah, drop your name, and I'll share and I'll follow you on LinkedIn. So drop your name in the comment box, and I will be sure to follow you on LinkedIn. The next thing you do on LinkedIn, you want to make sure that you have personalized connection requests. So when you are getting a new contact on LinkedIn, send a personal request. Let them know that you're not spamming them. Say, "Hey, Sterling, nice to meet you. I enjoyed your webinar. I would love to learn more about digital marketing." When you get those really spammy requests that are very general and trying to sell you, those turn people off. So if you're sending out requests to a new contact, somebody that you want to work with, make sure that you're sending a personalized connection request, because that means so much more. People really shy away if you're sending those boilerplate connection requests. So yeah, I'll show a few of your names here. So we have Dr. Gregory Thomas checking in. So be sure to follow Dr. Gregory Thomas on LinkedIn. I have another one here, Arlene McDaniel. Feel free to follow her. And one other right here. So yeah, definitely feel free to follow any of these people as well on LinkedIn. Also, one thing I love to do on LinkedIn is I love to use LinkedIn Voice. So LinkedIn has a feature now where you can leave somebody a voicemail message. So once again, it's about being more personal, and this is only available on your mobile phone. So there's a lot of time I'm on LinkedIn and I want to send a message to the prospect a message. I log into LinkedIn, I go into my messaging app, and I hold it down and say, "Hey, Carl, this is Sterling. Nice to meet you. I'd love to learn more about your travel service. If you get a chance, feel free to send me an email with any questions." Boom, that quick. And it's so powerful because that person is hearing your voice. That person knows that what you're sending is personal, is not something that's boilerplate, and it's so quick to do. So if you can on your mobile phone, I'm starting to send a lot of voice recording messages because it's easier and it's more personal. If you send those. So once again, that's another way to get more traction is by sending those voice requests as well. All right, so we're coming up to the end of our presentation. Once again, if you found this helpful, be sure to press the like button if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. Also, if you want to, just type in yes in the comment box, and I'll appreciate that. So I said a lot. We have a few minutes left here, but once again, if you have any questions or comments about LinkedIn, now is definitely the time to ask those questions. And if you do, I'll definitely respond with a comment. So, any questions about LinkedIn, about anything I said, now is the time to get in the chat box and ask those questions. Okay, well, while you're waiting to type, I'll just give a summary again. The hour went quick, but like I said, LinkedIn is like networking, business cards. It's like Rolodex on steroids. It's that place where you can make so many connections for your business. And I tell you from my own experience, I was on LinkedIn for years, and I didn't take it very seriously. I would post articles now and then, and what I mean, I would share an article from Time Magazine or Forever and post that. But when I really sat down and created posts about myself, it really helped my career. I mean, I got more sales, I got more speaking engagements, I got jobs. I mean, I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars the past few years off LinkedIn. Why? Because it allowed people to see me better. It allowed to have more visibility. So LinkedIn is great for your business. And it's good for whatever you're doing, whether you're a B2B company or a B2C company, it can still work. Whether you're trying to connect with customers or suppliers or contractors, LinkedIn is a great way to make those connections. And you know, the reason I love it too, LinkedIn allows you just to connect with so many people, and it allows you to go to a company and see who works there, and then email them. That's amazing when it comes down to business. So that's why I love it, because people are on LinkedIn for one reason primarily, to do business. And that's why I love it. It's not like Facebook, it's not like Twitter or Instagram and so on. It's all about business. And that's why, as a small business owner, you have to be on LinkedIn, because if you're not on LinkedIn, you are missing out on opportunities, connections, and more business. So, as always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to email your questions to programs@usblackchambers.org. Also, for this training and other trainings in the future, visit usblackchambers.org/webinars for a list of more trainings and upcoming events. Also, if you came in late, if you missed something, no matter if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on YouTube, or Facebook. This webinar is being recorded. When it's done, you can refer to this webinar and past webinars that I've done, and you can rewatch those and you can learn more information. So, once again, feel free to do that. We'll be back again on Thursday. Thursday, once again at 5 p.m. Once again, talking about social media. We'll be talking about Twitter, ways you can use Twitter to improve your business. And Thursday will be our last trending on social media. So we'll talk about Twitter. And once again, we'll just give a recap on social media and how you can use it. So once again, if that sounds good to you, I would love to see you here again on 5 p.m. Eastern Time um, to learn more about how to use Twitter for your business. So once again, thanks for your time. Thanks for being here. I'll stick around for about 60 more seconds. If you have any questions or any comments about LinkedIn, now is the time to answer those. And if there's no questions, I will end the webinar. So I'll give you a few seconds. Any questions, feel free to type those in. Also, do this. If you want to, also follow me on LinkedIn. Once again, if you just search Sterling McKinley in Google and LinkedIn, anywhere, I'll pull up. So uh, yeah, follow me on LinkedIn. Once again, ask me any questions or comments, even after this webinar is done, and I'll be sure to get back to you and help you use LinkedIn to make more business for your business. So on that note, thank you again. Good night, and I will see you on Thursday.